have liked a TikTok video today or asked a chatbot a question. I know it's still a bit early, but I see a couple of hands, and congratulations to everybody who's raised their hand. You've created at least one of the quintillion pieces of data that will be generated by the end of the day. A quintillion is approximately the number of grains of sand that exist on every beach on planet Earth. This is how much data we're generating every single day. I don't know about you, but I started wondering, where does all this data come from? The answer? A word you've probably never heard before. Datafication, a term used to describe the quantification of everything. An example of this is social media, which tries to quantify friendships, likes, and dislikes through online interactions. You see, the process of datafication goes beyond simple digitalization into the process of converting daily activities to a stream of information that can be tracked, analyzed, and used in decision-making. And the latter is exactly what matters. Data equals decisions. At first, I thought this was something great. As a person who likes science myself, I thought, well, of course more data leads to better decisions, right? And there are some advantages to datafication, but in a world that's constantly trying to datafy and quantify our everyday lives, the dangers of datafication are very easily overlooked. And people, like you and me, go on about their days not understanding how data is shaping our reality. I'm here to change that. And to do so, I'd like to take you all with me on a little treasure hunt. So imagine you're sitting at the foot of a mountain, your loved ones and family beside you, wishing you well and waving goodbye as you begin your adventure. You take up this map that has a very detailed route towards the top of the mountain where you've been told that the treasure lies. You start walking, you keep your eyes on the map, not taking your eyes off it for a minute, believing that it perfectly describes the world around you. Until you stumble, and you fall because of a hole that was right there, right next to you, just not on the map that you believed so perfectly described the world around you. Problem number 1, false sense of understanding. When we rely on data alone, the chance that we'll miss something important increases while giving us the illusion that we already know everything. Okay, so you get up, wipe the dust off your knees, and now we continue our journey. This time we hop in a car after a kind stranger offers us a ride. You probably shouldn't do this in real life, but just follow along for the sake of the example. So we're in the car, we're enjoying the beautiful scenery, and whoa! We almost fell off that cliff. Could you believe that the driver was just looking at the rearview mirror? Problem number 2, stagnancy. Data by its nature is static. It just catches a glimpse of reality and shows us where we've been rather than where we're going. When we use this data to make decisions, yes, it can help us see patterns, but it can also make us right off a cliff because we're going into the future just by looking at the past. So we've overcome the second obstacle, we get out of the car, and finally make our way to the top of the mountain. But there, we can't find the treasure anywhere? I guess we failed to understand that the treasure was the people that we left at the start of the journey. Problem number 3, incompleteness. When we datafy reality, the things that cannot be measured are left out of the equation. And it just so happens that the things that cannot be measured are what make up the essence of life. Love, art, culture, a sense of belonging, the profound feeling of adventure. They all just fade into the background because they can't be turned into the bits and bytes that in our datafied reality are trying to define the human experience. The real danger of incompleteness is not missing data, is mistaking the measurement for the objective itself. Incomplete data doesn't just limit understanding, it changes behavior. It is what will make us chase that X on top of a mountain instead of enjoying the time that we have with the people around us. Interestingly enough, some of the places that depend most on correct decision-making have already learned this lesson. In the military, they say that when you start measuring success by counting enemy deaths, you've already lost. You see, they understand that in order to win, you need to weaken the center of an opponent's operation, not just kill as many people as you can. So if even life and death systems recognize that data can mislead, why do we assume that measuring human life will automatically help us understand it? And this isn't something abstract. The same logic that caused wars is the same logic shaping your feed, your way of thinking, and your sense of self. Because, do you know what the biggest byproduct of datafication is? Artificial intelligence. Is that right? Your favorite ChatGPT is just a glorified datafication machine. One that tries to quantify human language and that draws upon years' worth of datafication to try and condense our world into zeros and ones. The problem itself isn't the technology, but how implicitly it's changing our decision-making, as an extension our realities, and taking each and every one of us on a little treasure hunt of our own. Because every time you accept whatever your TikTok algorithm brings in front of you without question, that's the same thing as forgetting to take your eyes off that damn map. Relying on ChatGPT's answers without original thinking, well, that's just like driving by just looking at the rearview mirror and forgetting to take a step back from this constant algorithmic personalization facilitated by datafication to think about what truly matters to you is what will make you chase this fake treasure. Because when everyone is constantly trying to datafy and quantify the very essence of our being, we have to own our humanity. It's hard, but we have to understand that we do have power over how we act in this datafied world. Creative thinking is more important than ever before. Visionaries are more important than ever before. Rebels are more important than ever before. So here's my challenge to you. When you go home today, strike up an unexpected conversation. Or simply pause, put your phone aside, and think about what matters to you and what life you want to be living. Because the moment we choose intentionality over automation, well, that's when we take our eyes off the map of datafication and back onto the world around us. Thank you very much.